Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy and today we're talking about 15 cozy mystery series that have a millennial protagonist as the main character. So I looked it up today and it looks like it varies between the millennials ending at 1994 or 1996, but basically you have like people in your very late 20s, 30s, and up to the age of 42 is kind of the established age range. So all of the main characters in this, to the best of my knowledge, are in that age range. Okay, so let's start with one that I've just really loved. This is a new series that started this year, so you would not have very much catch up to do. This is the Spice Isle Bakery Mystery Series by Olivia Matthews, and this first book in the series is Against the Current. Hard Dough Homicide just came out this month, May 2023. It is coming out this month, so I'm very excited for that. I really want to get my hands on that. But basically our main character in this is Lindsay, and she is a really fascinating character. I like her personality a lot. She is a millennial. She's pretty like marketing savvy, I would say. She's got like a background in business and I just really love her and her family. Basically the premise for the series is that along with her family, she's opening her personal dream of having a West Indian bakery, and this is within the little Caribbean area of New York City. So it's really fun to read about all the different desserts and different things that they serve there, because I'm not as familiar with that type of dessert. And I love a good baking mystery, really fun, and Lindsay is just a great character. She's kind of a recovering people pleaser, which I think a lot of us can relate to, and her family are a hoot. I also would assume her brother is also probably a millennial, and her cousin as well that she kind of hangs out with. So you do have some really great millennial characters in this Spice Isle Bakery mystery series. A newer cozy mystery series to me. The book 3 is releasing this series this year, so this is a fairly new cozy mystery series. This is part of the Ice Cream Shop mystery series by Meri Allen. The first book in the series is The Rocky Road to Ruin, and then you have Mint Chocolate Murder, which I just picked up, so I haven't read this one yet, but I loved book 1, gave this like 4.5, 5 stars. And our main character in this is Riley Rose. She is both a travel food blogger, and she was also a librarian at the CIA, which has got to be one of the most unique jobs I've seen in a cozy mystery so far. But basically in the first book she goes back to her hometown to help out a friend who's recently lost her parents, and she's struggling to run her parents' dairy farm and their ice cream shop, which is called Utterly Delightful. It's utterly delicious. I always call it delightful. I don't know why, but the ice cream shop. So she starts to help out with that. She's a really great character. There's some adorable cats in this series, and I really like her. I think she's a savvy, smart character. I think she is very loyal, very caring about her community and the people around her, and I'm very excited for book 2. If you are looking for kind of a nice spring summer cozy mystery series, even though there are some books that I know book 3 comes out, I want to say around October, because it's a Halloween themed one, but the first 2 are definitely in the spring and summer time of year, so this is a great time of year to pick these up. And yeah, the theme is on point for this time of year, and you got a great millennial sleuth to be at the front of the mystery. So one that I don't personally own, but I did read the first book in the series for. This was the first book in the Baker Street mystery series, and I loved this. Our main character Maddie is actually kind of a social media influencer per se. She definitely has a good audience and she's very social media savvy, so you have that kind of aspect of, I guess, kind of a job that started with the millennial generations, I guess you could say. The first book in the series is called 2 Part Sugar, 1 Part Murder. It's written by Valerie Burns. Maddie is the main character, and she is moving out from a big city, warm climate to snowy small town. So she's having culture shock. Her aunt has died and left her home and her bakery, and Maddie knows absolutely nothing about baking, but the condition of her accepting what she's inherited is that she has to live in the house, take care of her aunt's dog named Baby, who is a giant mastiff. So this dog weighs as much as a human. I mean, this is a dog, right? This is a huge dog. And she's also got to run the bakery. So she has no idea what she's doing, but she starts to use her social media savvy to kind of help the marketing of the business, and she starts to learn to cook from the other employees who are there at the bakery, and she's a really great character. She has a touch, at the beginning of the first book at least, she's a touch spoiled, I would say, but it comes across in an endearing way, and I feel like it gives her some character growth, and I really enjoyed that. I definitely would recommend book 1. I know book 2 came out this year. I believe it's called Murder is a Piece of Cake, and I haven't got to read that one yet, but I'm definitely it's on my TBR. I'm excited to read it. So a new cozy mystery series to me. The first book launched last fall, so it's a relatively new series, but I just finished this in a cozy mystery reading log, which if it's up, I'll link it above. If not, stay tuned. And that is The 6 Feet Deep Dish by Mindy Quigley. This is a pizza shop mystery series, and I really love this. It's so adorable. You have our main character, I was gonna say our main character Butterball, the cat here on the front, but our main character is Delilah O'Leary, and she has had this lifelong dream of opening a deep dish pizza shop, like a really lovely restaurant, just like having great views and everything. It takes place in Geneva Bay, Wisconsin, and I love the history of the town. It's a charming resort town with a lot of mob history, so that's kind of already played some parts into this book, and it's just kind of an interesting aspect of the book. I really enjoy it. And Delilah herself is a very relatable character, at least for me. I'd say she's very type A. She has a very hard time delegating work to like her employees or just people trying to help her out in life, because shortly after she's like about to open her pizza shop, right? And her fiance ends up just like leaving, like just ditching, and then shortly after there's a body found, the murder starts, like all that classic kind of cozy mystery intrigue, and Delilah's struggling to keep it together. Her business is shut down, she's running out of money, there's a lot of issues, and she starts to really realize I need to rely on other people. And I love her type A personality because I can personally relate to that, and she's just a really great character. There's a lot of interesting, like kind of fun, more like trending topics that are like related to this, like mentions of like goat yoga and like some of these wellness culture like trends and tropes, so that kind of also made it feel a little bit more millennial as well. And I just really love this, and Butterball is like my second favorite ever pet in a cozy mystery series after Prozac from Laura Levine's Jane Austen series. Like Butterball deserves an award of his own, basically. I love him. Next we have one of my favorites, and that is the Bread Shop Mystery Series by Winnie Archer. I've gotten rid of a couple of the books over time just because I don't need to keep all of them, but I do have the second book, Crust Known, which is maybe my favorite, The Walking Bread, Flower in the Attic, and Death Gone Awry, and these are just amazing. I love it. There are some good social media mentions in this. Like this last book here has been about like trends and stuff on Instagram. There's like one where they're filming like a reality TV show in the bakery, and basically our main character in this is Ivy. She is a millennial struggling to find her place in life. She lost her mother recently and she's moved back home because she feels lost. You know, she lost her mother unexpectedly. She's like in her 30s and she just feels very lost. So she moves back to be closer to her father and brother. And she stumbles into this bake shop, this bread shop nearby, and she ends up falling in love and taking bread making classes, and it really just fuels her and gives her a purpose. And she also starts a freelance photography business because she's always been passionate about photography. So she's kind of working that, you know, double work, gig work kind of a lifestyle like a lot of people are, especially millennials nowadays. And I just love her as a character. She's very kind, she's compassionate, she's observant, and I love how she uses photography sometimes to help her sleuth. Really fun series. It will definitely make you hungry. I have actually started to learn how to make bread specifically because of this series, and it's been going great and I love it. I highly recommend it if you've never made bread. It's delicious. And she also has this adorable pug, as you can see on the cover here, named Agatha, after Agatha Christie, which gotta love it. Gotta love it. I love it. So that is another series I recommend. Another series starring a millennial sleuth that I really love is the Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery Series. Our main character in this is Leela, and she is a Filipino-American. She has recently come back home after some like personal failures and just issues in her life, and she's been working in her family's restaurant, which serves like Philippine food, and she is a delightful character. She is so compassionate with her family. Her family is very relatable. Like, you know, they're always getting on each other's nerves, but they still love each other anyways. You know, very relatable family. I love her and her relationship with her friends. Later on, she actually ends up developing her own cafe called the Bruja Cafe, and it involves a lot of fun, more trendy things that maybe some millennials would be interested in, but she's a delightful character. The first book takes place where she is serving some customers in the family restaurant. One of them actually dies like in the restaurant, and basically that starts a murder investigation, and her family is one of the prime suspects because they were served the food and everything, and they were there, you know, present at the scene of the crime. So she starts to get really involved to clear her family's name, and she's just a very passionate person. She's very caring. Later on in future books, she gets very relatable as well, as you can kind of see her struggling with the stress of having like worked through some of these cases, and I really appreciate that. Currently there are 3 books out in the series, and I'm very excited for more. It's a great series. I've read all 3 so far, and they've all been excellent. Another series that I really love is the Secret Staircase mystery series by Gigi Pandian. I just finished, again for a cozy mystery vlog that's coming up, The Raven Thief, and this is the 2nd book in the series, so again, a very brand new series. Our main character in this is Tempest, and she is an like Las Vegas magician, like a very big showtime like magician. Something goes wrong. She comes back to help with her family's business, which is a secret staircase business. Like they build hidden rooms, like sliding bookshelves, hidden compartments, like it's like Scooby-Doo on steroid with like the revolving like bookcases and weird stuff. Like I love it. And her magic act and like all the ways that the author incorporates the idea of like misdirection and magic and stuff into the plot lines, which are predominantly like locked room mysteries from what I can tell. So if you like that, check it out. But Tempest is a great character. She's also very distinct among the millennial sleuths I'm talking about today, not only for the magic act part, but because she actually hates social media with like a passion. But sometimes the cases kind of force her to get on it just to do some research on people she's like looking into and stuff. But she absolutely hates social media, which I kind of found a refreshing take, because not all people who are millennials are obsessed with social media, you know, like I'm like right on the cusp of millennial and Gen Z, I want to say. And if you ask friends and family, like I'm somebody who like loses my phone constantly. Like I'm not on my phone a lot. Like it's just not me. But I love her. Book 1, I gave it 3.5 stars. The mystery didn't. I loved the characters, I love the setting, the family, all of that. And there's also a nice like overarching mystery and like plot line to the series as well, which I'm really enjoying. Not a lot of cozy mystery series do that, and this has been a very unique cozy mystery series. I really recommend it. But book 2, this mystery, I finished it last night and it came together so well. It was so good. It was so satisfying. I absolutely recommend it. So another cozy mystery series with a millennial sleuth that is a little bit on the newer side is the Cheese Shop mystery series by Korina. Finally got my hands on these. I kept saying it was like on my most anticipated want to read, and my library didn't have them, and I finally got them. The first one is Cheddar Off Dead, and then we have Gone for Gouda as book 2. Book 4 is coming out this year. Basically, you have our main character, Willa. She is a cheesemonger, and she's opening a cheese shop. Cheese. I love cheese so much. So she's opening a French-inspired cheese shop in Sonoma Valley. You know, she's having some issues in her personal life, as most of the cozy mystery series start. In the first book, things don't go quite as planned. A body is found. Murder mystery ensues. But Willa is a really fun character. She's very spunky. She's very engaged. She's an active sleuth, and she loves cheese. Do I need to say anything else? Like, I mean, cheese. It's so... I just can't wait. It's just such a charming cozy mystery series. It's delicious. If you love cheese, I would definitely recommend it. Her cheese shop is called Curds and Whey. I love it. It's so adorable, and you even have her like the little puppy here. So I'm very, very excited for this. And even like the second book does pull in some of those social media themes that seem to be popular with millennials. Like there's a vegan influencer who turns out to be a fraud, and that's kind of the basis for this book too, which I'm very excited to get into. I've read book 1. This is my next read. Very excited for this. So Cheese Shop Mystery, I would definitely recommend it. If you watch my channel regularly and you have been waiting for this one, congratulations on calling it, because this one, it had to make the list. And that is the Noodle Shop Mystery Series by Vivien Chien. I love this mystery series. I own the first 3, so we have Death by Dumpling, Murder Lo Mein, and Dim Sum of All Fears. I love this mystery series. There are 8 books out currently, with a 9th one coming out this year. I have read all 8 books between this and my library, and it's fantastic. Our main character is Lana Lee. She is in her like very late 20s, like approaching 30, so she's on the younger side for a millennial. And she is just kind of lost in life, you know? Like a lot of people in their 20s and 30s, and well, probably all decades, but especially 20s and 30s, I feel like that's a very confusing dramatic part of your life, right? So in the first book, she's gone through a brutal breakup, and she's also dramatically left a job, so she's forced to come home, work in her family's noodle shop, which is like in this place called Asia Village, which is like a plaza with all these different like Asian establishments. You have like an Asian salon, you have like different food places, you have like a bar, you have like a bookstore, lots of great stuff. There's like an herb like apothecary shop. And I love Asia Village. A lot of the mysteries do take place there, so it's really interesting for her to, like, seeing her interact with all of her peers and the people around her. And again, like the Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery series, I particularly like her family. They're very much where they get on each other's nerves. Her older sister drives her crazy all the time. She's very much like the prim and proper and like perfect daughter, and Lana is the younger one. She's rebellious. She dyes her hair fun colors. You know, she's a little bit more rebellious than her older sister is, which, you know, she butts heads with her parents sometimes, but they all love each other. They're all there for each other, and I highly recommend this series. The mysteries in this series are particularly good. I always find myself so intrigued. The writing style is fun. There's also a great cast of side characters. I really love her roommate Megan, who is a bartender. She's about the same age, so she's also a millennial, and she often encourages Lana to go sleuthing even when they probably shouldn't, but you know, why not? You only live once, let's go sleuthing. So this is an excellent series. It's so much fun. I love the covers for these. I can't wait for book 9. I believe it is called Misfortune Cookie, and that will be coming out this year. It's one of my most anticipated releases for Cozy Mysteries this year, and yeah, I couldn't recommend this enough. It's super interesting. Lana does also experiment with some of the social media. There's one in particular I liked that I read recently. I believe it was Hot and Sour Suspect, and they basically like hold like a in-person like speed dating competition and in like the noodle shop, so people are speed dating. There's lots of social media like research and snooping. I love it. It's so good. Highly recommend it. Lana's probably one of my favorite cozy mystery characters just in general, like not just for millennials but just across the board. One of my favorite main characters in a cozy mystery series. I really recommend it. Speaking of a fantastic duo kind of sleuth, because I like Megan and Lana, her and her roommate, they work great. It's like kind of a duo sometimes. I also read the first book in the Killer Chocolate Mystery series last fall, which that was the first book in the series, so it is a brand new series, and I loved it. I really liked it. I thought the mystery was a little slow, like, but I sometimes find that just true with the first book in Cozy Mystery series in general. Sometimes it takes like the second book to kind of warm up to me. It was still like a 3.5 stars out of 5, but the main character in this is Alex, and her twin sister have opened this bookshop, which is a murder mystery like bookstore with killer chocolates. So they have like, they make handmade chocolates, and they're all themed after different like poisons. So you have like, you know, arsenic themed ones, you got like belladonna themed ones. It's fantastic. And I love the first book because she has this really deep connection with this older woman who comes into the shop a lot. They kind of have like a grandma-granddaughter relationship, and I just thought it was a really heartwarming series. It is a Christmas cozy mystery, so maybe not quite the right time of year, but maybe put that, you know, bookmark that one for later this year. I gotta see if book 2 is coming out. If book 2 is coming out and there's a cover, I'll pop it on the screen. But that was book 1 of the series, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was called The Christmas Candy Killing. If you are interested in reading a cozy mystery about a millennial mother, I would recommend the Scottish Shire mystery series. The first book in the series is Murder in the Scottish Shire. I've read the first 2 books in the series. It's written by Traci Hall, and I really love this series. We have our main character Paisley. She is 28, and she does have a son. She had a son very young in life. So her son is about 9 or 10 years old, and his name is Brody. And Paisley is doing pretty well for herself. She's got her own like yarn shop. It's called Cashmere Crush, and she sells all these different, you know, yarn. She sells all types of yarn, and she also does like custom orders for sweaters and things like that. And she's the only financial support that her and her son have because the dad is out of the picture. So things are going okay. You know, her and her son have this loving, just amazing relationship. I really love it. It's very fun. They get on each other's nerves. You know, he messes up sometimes, but I just like their relationship a lot. It's very wholesome. But in the first book, of course, you know, there's a murder mystery. Of course, it's cozy mystery series, but she also kind of gets a curveball thrown at her, not just with the murder mystery in this book, but also with the fact that her grandfather is found sleeping on a bench. And this is a estranged relative. Like, she does not have a close relationship with him, even though she was kind of raised by his wife, her grandmother. And so she decides to take him in because he really has nowhere else to go. And over book 1 and book 2, they kind of develop a bit of a relationship, and it's just really sweet. This has some really great family relationships. The mysteries are really great. Pretty like layered. I find them a little bit more complex than maybe your average cozy, and I just love the characters. They're so heartwarming. There's currently about 4 books out in this series, so you're not too far behind if you are interested in this series. And she's just a really great millennial mom, I would say, if you're looking for one of those. I also love her adorable little doggy here. Her dog's name is Wallace. And that's like the greatest name ever. I love that. Wallace, the Black Scottish Terrier. Like, what a cutie. So if you are interested in reading about millennial mom in the cozy mystery genre, this is a good recommendation. I really love this. Another one I have to mention is the Ice Cream Parlor mystery series, not to be confused with the Ice Cream Shop, by Abby Collette. So the first book in the series is called A Deadly Inside Scoop. Then I have book 2, A Game of Cones, and A Killer Sunday. I've read the first 2 in the series. I haven't quite made it to this one yet, but it's in the fall, so I'm kind of saving it for fall time. But basically we have our main character in this named Bronwyn. Again, this is a very family-centric one. I really love her family. She's basically taken over her family's ice cream parlor, which is called Cruz Creamery. Cruz is their last name. And she's using her background as like a marketing executive to really put them on the map. She uses social media. She's very business savvy. She's marketing. She's refreshing the shop, you know, repainting it, decorating it. Some really great ideas. She's really like, you know, breathing new life into the place, and I really love that, while still maintaining the traditions and like beautiful elements of the store. Her family is really great. I just love her as a character. She's really interesting. If you're looking for a fun culinary cozy mystery, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. And you can jump in really anytime with this one. The author does a great job of explaining things. So if you are wanting to jump into a particular one, like this one here takes place more in the springtime versus the first book, which just takes place during the winter. So if you want to jump into book 2 to be like seasonal about it, definitely can do that. But I really enjoy this. She uses a lot of social media for her marketing. She uses like research on the internet and stuff to really like scope out people and everything for her sleuthing, and she's a little bit on the more reluctant side. She's not as nosy as some cozy mystery sleuths, so if you do like that kind of reluctant sleuth who gets tied up in things because she cares about the people around her, this is a good one. The other one I want to recommend is called the LA Night Market. I've read the first one in the series. It's called Death by Bubble Tea, and this features 2 main characters. Basically, we have our main character Yale Yi and her cousin Celine, who's coming out from Hong Kong. They are not close at all. They're both in like their very late 20s, and Celine is actually a social media influencer, which I think is a very millennial Gen Z type character trope, and she's coming back from Hong Kong. Yale has recently been let go of her job at like a bookshop, so her father encourages her to work with her cousin to open a food like cart or stand at this like night market in LA. So I feel like the Los Angeles setting is really fun, very trendy. There's a lot of fun things going on with that. The 2 of them working together is a hoot because they have very different personalities. They don't know each other very well despite being cousins. So it's really fun to see these 2 millennials with different strengths and personalities come together to solve a good mystery. The first book, basically they are at the food you know, they're at the LA night market, and basically a body is found and they are suspects in the crime because one of their like bubble tea cups that's very like distinct is with the person who's found dead. So they work together, and I really enjoyed it. It was just really fun. The second book in the series, Hot Pot Murder, is coming out in June, I believe. So that one will be coming out soon. And last but not least, I had to throw in the Pen and Ink mystery series by Krista Davis. This is the Coloring Crook, which I believe is like 3rd or 4th in the series. There are about 4 books out currently. Our main character is Flory Fox, and she works at a bookshop and is a coloring book artist. And like a lot of the other people on this list, she does use some social media to kind of help the shop out and market. But I like that she's a coloring book artist. She's always sketching scenes from like different murder suspects. She'll like sketch their faces or different clues and things, and she'll sometimes reflect back on that, and that'll kind of give her those aha moments to put together clues, which I really like. But Flory's a very like educated, very well read, very fun character, very artistic, a little on the quieter side, I would say, and I really enjoyed it. All the covers are darling. They're all like, you could color them in if you wanted to, so I think that is a fun element. I will not be coloring them in because I'm afraid of ruining it, but I really enjoy this. This is my favorite of the Krista Davis series. I've tried 3 of her series for Cozy Mysteries, and this is the one that I love. It's a standout, excellent mysteries. A lot of fun history is often incorporated with different like rare books or rare coloring books or artwork and stuff, which I think is always fun. I love that kind of thing. So if you like a bookish cozy mystery, you're looking for a millennial sleuth, Florrie is a really fun character. She also lives in like this carriage house on this giant like mansion where her boss lives, and she's like renting the carriage house from him, and that's just, it's so much fun. Like, she lives in a really cool place, so absolutely love that. And that marks the end of 15 millennial cozy mystery sleuths and series that I recommend. Let me know down below, who is your favorite millennial cozy mystery sleuth? I'd have to say mine might be Lana Lee. It's really hard to pick, but Lana is she's up there. She's really up there. I really enjoy her character. Florrie's really great. A lot of these characters are amazing, but Lana's one that definitely stands out to me as having some of the best mysteries, some of the best moments. Like, I just love her. She's hilarious. So let me know who your favorite millennial cozy mystery sleuth is. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do post new videos in the mystery and thriller genre every single week on this channel. I don't want you to miss out, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!